focus mostly in this talk on quantitative studies because as a former engineer, that's what I know best. If I don't have a t-test in front of me, I start to feel a bit naked. I accept that there's a lot of really, really good work being done borrowing techniques from anthropology, business, sociology, grounded theory, immersive studies. They're not quantitative, but they are rigorous. Right? Go back a few years, I didn't get this. If you're not, putting electrodes on the test subject, it's not a real experiment. If you don't have numbers that you can roll through a t-test, you're not a scientist. I now accept that that's not true. And one of the reasons I'm headed up to the Open University next week is there's some people there, Marion Petrie and Judith Siegel in particular, who are doing some excellent work studying programmers. But they're not trying to collect numerical data. They're still doing science. Bit of a personal struggle for me. I think I've overcome my anthropology phobia, whatever the word is. It'll never feel right to me, but I'm willing to accept that work as first-class citizens. Here's another cool result. Nashi Nagapan, Chris Bird. Microsoft collected a ton, like a metric bucket load of data during the development of Windows Vista. Every email message, every chat conversation, every phone call, every check-in, every bug report, every fault found, all of that. And these guys got to go crawling through it. And guess what they found? This really surprised us. It doesn't matter how far apart the developers are physically. It does not correlate with how many bugs are in the software after they say they're done. That's really all I care about. Post-release fault rates. Once I say this is done, and we burn the CD and we ship it off, or people start to download it, how many bugs do we find after it goes out the door? That's the final arbiter of quality. It doesn't matter if the team is split more or less evenly between, Berlin, Beijing, Bangalore, and Butane, Washington. It doesn't matter. What matters, what correlates very strongly, is how far apart the developers are in the org chart. If we all report to the same boss, we're probably doing the same thing. We're probably pointed in the same direction. If we are scattered through the org chart, the odds are very good that our bosses have different ideas about what the project's supposed to be about, or they're competing with each other for promotion or some other bad thing. And the chances of the software actually working go down and down and down. I mean, if nothing else, if we're scattered through the org chart, the odds are really good that there's going to be much more churn in the personnel because this group in Beijing has suddenly been pulled off to work on this thing, so we've got to bring in some new people and there's someplace else. Physical separation doesn't predict post-release fault rates. Organizational separation does. And you better believe Microsoft is changing its project management practices based on that. It's a fixable, actionable thing. This is something that a lot of people simply don't believe. It doesn't matter that we show them the data. They say, well, I can't be right.
But is it quicker to develop when you're still together or something?
Separate question, and I don't know the answer, right? Okay, I don't know the answer, but I could go digging to see if they also answered that one. Right? Now, last point here. I didn't have a picture of a cute kitten, so I put up a car instead. One of the reasons that companies like Toyota have been kicking butt for so long is that they actually apply engineering practices to their own internal workings. If we've got cars coming off the assembly line that are broken, let's go back and fix the assembly line. If we keep missing market opportunities, let's go back and fix our management structure. Let's go and look for the root cause of the problem and fix it and apply scientific ideas about cause and effect. If General Motors had been doing this for the last 30 years, the world would look different today. Certainly Detroit would look different. Right? I really think that we should be building, by now you know what I'm going to say, I really think we should be building our software development practices around the evidence that we've got about what works and what doesn't. And we do now have lots of evidence for various things. Right? Pair programming is cost effective, but the effectiveness wears off over time as you get used to each other. Okay? Great. We now have the engineering trade-off between pissing you off because every 3 weeks you've got to move to a different desk and nobody likes that, and making you feel good because you're being productive and get a lot done. But at least now it's an informed choice. It's not just Fred was in a company and they pair programmed and he thinks it's great.